The next video I'm going to do is for the rifles. So exotic rifles. So you got the Diamondback, you got the Merciless, and you got the Ravenous. I'm not going to include the Bighorn as a rifle because I'm explained about that in the assault rifles video. So if you're looking for the Bighorn, check it out in that. So we'll start with the Diamondback. The quote is, "I don't give a damn if it's not an actual Diamondback. I'll call it whatever I want, and I like the name." And that's from a Manning National Zoo reptile keeper. It's got a pretty high for weapon base damage for a rifle, 100 RPM and 5 in the mag, so it's quite slow RPM and only a small magazine. It comes with a rifle damage, critical hit damage, headshot damage, and the talent Agonizing Bite. The Diamondback randomly marks an enemy. Hitting that enemy consumes the mark, guaranteeing a critical hit with damage amplified by 20%. After hitting the mark, all shots fired are guaranteed critical hits for 5 seconds. A new random enemy is marked afterwards and whenever you reload. So you're going to be reloading quite a bit with this weapon because it's only got 5 bullets. I'm not a huge fan of it, if I'm honest. It's could be better, or it would be better if we had a large magazine, but they've only given you the 5. You get it initially from the Kenley College expedition. So once you complete all 3 parts of Kenley College, you can collect it as a reward from the box in the chapel. After that, it will be in targeted loot. So if you're looking for a second one, you can get it from wherever the rifle shows up in targeted loot for that day. The Merciless, it's not a bad rifle. I'm trying to find a build to fit it into. Doing a bit of tinkering at the moment. The quote on it says, "Some people say I lack empathy. They're wrong. What I lack is mercy." That's from Zodiac, Hyena's council member. It's got very low damage for a rifle. It's got 400 RPM and it's got 30 in the magazine. It comes with rifle damage, crit chance, and the talent Binary Trigger. This weapon fires on the trigger pull and release, so it fires 2 bullets at the same time. If both bullets hit the same enemy, you gain a stack. 7 stacks should an enemy deals 500% amplified damage and creates a 7-meter explosion, dealing 500% weapon damage, consuming the stacks. So you basically fire it in 14 bullets into the same enemy. So you want to be looking at hitting an elite or a named boss if you're looking to use this talent specifically. And then it will obviously 500% amplified damage, 500% weapon damage on an explosion will do quite a lot of damage to enemies that are in close proximity to the one you're aiming at. So it can be quite a good weapon. As I said, I'm trying to find a build for it. This one, you don't have to do anything specific in terms of trying to find it. It's just in the general loot pool. Hyena missions are a good spot to try and farm because it's not a hyena weapon, but it has a hyena link on the quote, so you can always try the hyena missions: Jefferson Trade Center, Grand Washington Hotel, Bank Headquarters, or District Union Arena. Try and get those missions done if you're looking for it, and hopefully it might drop for you. Otherwise, just look in the same as the Diamondback. Once it's in the open world, just look at the targeted loot and see if it will drop for you from that, whichever mission or open world area it's in that day. Moving on to the Ravenous. So the text says, "Geri and Freki, hounds of Odin, roam the battlefield eternal, greedy for the corpses of those who have fallen. Go forth, warrior of Odin, and hunt slake their thirst. Again, it's not huge weapon damage or base damage. 240 RPM, it's not bad. You've got 60 in the magazine, and it comes with rifle damage, crit damage, and damage to target out cover. The talent Gary and Frecky on trigger pull fire both barrels at once. When fired from the right shoulder, hits add offensive primers and defensive primers when fired from the left shoulder. So you can switch your, pressing the R3 button, you can switch your whichever shoulder you're firing from. Hits from one shoulder will detonate all the opposite shoulder's primers when present. When detonated, each offensive primer deals 100% weapon damage, whilst each defensive primer grants 4% bonus armor and 10% amplified damage to armor plates for 5 seconds. Primer effectiveness is doubled at 10 stacks. So if you're low on armor and you're shooting from the left shoulder and then you switch to the right shoulder, that will trigger the 4% bonus armor and give you a bit of health, especially when 10 stacks. So you can get up to 40% bonus armor, and then doubling that you can get up to 80% bonus armor if you play it right, which can help if you're doing legendary difficulty. It probably isn't the sort of gun you would use in solo play, more of a group of 2, 3 or 4 where you haven't got all the NPCs targeting you, but it is a pretty good talent. As for the gun itself, it is Iron Horse Raid exclusive, so you can only get it from that raid. So if you are looking for it, obviously you need to find a team that you can run with who are happy for you to play with if it's your first time, or a team that you run with regularly. It's not a bad weapon. It's not one I use a lot, but I have noticed that people use it for Morozova when she's out and about and she's gonna fire her rocket. People stagger her so she gets put off and doesn't actually fire it. So that's one of the good uses for this gun. Again, I hope it gives you an insight into these 3 weapons, where to find them, what they can do, and I will catch you in the next video.